Hi, welcome students. In the third part of organisms and population, I welcome you all. Today we are discussing the organism and its environment, and ecology at the level of organism is virtually the physiological ecology. Physiological ecology refers to the study of survival of the organism, its reproduction, and the factors that promote or prohibit its survival and perpetuation of its lineage. We know that revolution of Earth around the Sun and tilting of Earth's axis, the vertical axis that runs centrally through the Earth, is tilted. This tilting and the continuous revolution of this Earth around the Sun is causing the seasonal change on the Earth's surface. It has caused a variation in the duration of sunlight and temperature, and various other factors such as wind, humidity, etc., that affects the environmental condition of the habitat where the organisms are born, and the physiology is affected. Not only this, the environment causes a variation in the organism at genetic level, and this in turn causes adaptation in the morphology, anatomy, and physiology of the organism. To sum up, we can say that the organisms are affected by the abiotic factor and the physico-chemical environment of the ecosystem, mutually affecting each other where it lives. Let's now discuss the abiotic factor of the environment which the organism is exposed to and interact with. We know that organisms are of different kinds. Either it be the plant, or it be the animal, or it be the microorganism. These all have a range of endurance. Some of the organisms are able to survive in a wide range of environmental condition, whereas some are highly susceptible to get affected by the sharp changes in the environmental condition. If this environmental condition is so, the organisms are bound to adapt themselves either, or sometimes if it is not possible for the organism, they may move to some agreeable or suitable environmental condition, or they are bound to extinct in such harsh environmental condition. The major abiotic factors, if we talk, is the temperature, and ecologically most relevant environmental factor is the temperature. Average temperature on land varies seasonally and decreases progressively if we move from equator to poles and from poles to mountains. At equator, we know that the annual mean temperature is nearly 50 degrees Celsius or more than that, up to 55 or 58 degree of Celsius. But in polar areas, we find that the temperature, average temperature, is sub-zero. It is minus 20 degree, minus 40 degree, minus 60 degrees, and so. Similarly, in plains, the temperature varies seasonally, and during the peak summer season it may reach up to 42-43 degrees Celsius, whereas in mountains the average temperature doesn't exceed 20 degrees Celsius or 25 degrees Celsius. If we see the lower range of the temperature in the mountain region, we find it nearly 10 degrees Celsius, 5 degrees Celsius, and even at higher altitude, we may find that it is nearly 0 or below 0. There are, however, unique habitats such as thermal springs and deep sea hydrothermal vent where average temperature exceeds 100 degrees Celsius. In general knowledge, the mango tree don't or cannot grow in temperate countries like Canada and Germany. Snow leopards are not found in Kerala forest, and tuna fish are rarely caught beyond the tropical areas of the ocean. So a few organisms can tolerate or thrive in a wide range of temperature, as I have told you just now. They are called eurythermal, but a vast variety of them are restricted to a narrow range of temperature. Such organisms are called stenothermal. So eurythermal and stenothermal are the two organisms. The level of thermal tolerance of different species determine to a large extent their geographical distribution. In recent years, there has been growing concern about the gradually increasing average global temperature. If this trend continues, would you expect the distribution range of some species be affected? Similarly, the other environmental condition we shall discuss in the next video. Thank you.